Hello, I'm Apex Dova,
I'm Cowboy Bebop Crew.
and welcome to Concepts of a Podcast. Before we get into this, remember to like, favorite, comment on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. And if you have any feedback, email us at conceptsofapodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Or leave it in the comments.
Yep. So you want to introduce us into today's episode?
All right. So today's episode is Nightreign of Terror. So recently, Nightreign was released, and I mean, we have our feelings on that. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later. But it opened up the topic of teamwork in games. So let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing that we were talking about with Nightreign. So Nightreign is a 3-player like Soulsborne game that's kind of like a mixture between a Soulsborne and Fortnite, where basically players have to work together to basically rush through the map, kill enemies and bosses, and then eventually on the third day you fight the final boss and try and defeat the final boss, right? And so one of the major issues with any team-based game is cooperation, right? You have to work with
Okay.
like randos if you're not lucky enough to have like actual teammates to play with, right? And so there are a few games that we've gone through, like for example, like Destiny, uh, Night Rain, Overwatch, Halo, Final Fantasy 14, other games where you have to use team synergy and like cooperation. And so for me, I think one of the frustrating elements is getting people to cooperate and getting people to function as a team when you're actually playing. Like a lot of people just kind of like do their own thing. A lot of people basically just don't want to cooperate, don't want to synergize with the team, don't want to communicate either. And it could just make the game like needlessly frustrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And a lot of those issues also can be like worked with or worked around based on like the game design and philosophy. Like some games are better than other about helping keep coordination tight and at least like functional within the game.
Hmm.
Like Night Rain, at least at launched, it might still be like that to this day. It kind of struggles with being able to It struggles with help or facilitating ways to communicate with your teammates. And it had other issues as well. But there's a lot of discussion that can be had about team play and stuff with Night Rain. So let's see.
Yeah.
Team synergy. Team synergy is an interesting concept because like when you get a team, this is kind of jumping ahead in a sense,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
but when you get a team that just works and you know what you're doing, your teammates know what you're doing, and you can see your teammates doing stuff, and you're like, man, I appreciate that he knows what he's doing because he's doing the right thing,
Yep.
and when things just like work together, it's such a good experience. Like it's so good. It's like peak gaming.
I think the other thing for like team synergy is about team comp, right? And
Yeah,
so in some games like Night Rain, maybe depending on the boss, it might not be as important. Like because I've heard of people going triple Raider or triple Duchess or triple Wilder. I think the only comp that might not work super well is probably like triple like Hawkman, I guess, or triple like
Guardian.
yeah
Yeah,
Guardian doesn't probably work that well just because his DPS is not great. But like in other games, like for example, Overwatch, team synergy is super important. Or like probably in Final Fantasy 14, you probably want a good amount of like team comp, like a good team comp in order to go into a certain raid, you know what I mean, or fight a certain boss, you know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes people don't really take that into account and they're just trying to press buttons, and I feel like that also creates frustration because it's just like, dude, we could kind of play off of each other and make this even easier to succeed. You know what I mean? But some people just, I guess, I don't know if they don't care, or they don't think about it, or whatever. But
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. Team synergy. I wanted to say like it's like why we play the game, but like I think of team synergy in the way like I'm going to get a little biblical on this,
Go
but
for
there's
it.
a concept of being on one accord, like when we're just like you're a collective, a group of people, and you're all like aligned in purpose, and you're just all doing like working towards a common goal, like, and it's like it's who said it? I think it was Tim Cook said something like 1 + 1 = 3, where the idea is the output of the team is greater than the sum of the
The
individual
individual parts.
inputs. Yeah,
Yep.
like that's what I think of when I think of team synergy. It's just like everything is just like a well-oiled machine. It's so good when it like comes together and like even with team comp, team comp is a factor. It's a huge factor. I think about like different games, kind of require different team comps,
Yep.
but I think it mostly boils down to the player and how like considerate they are of their teammates and aware of their teammates.
And aware of their role
Yeah,
on the team. Because, like, for example, if you're like the tank and you're trying to DPS, you're clearly not doing what you need to be doing. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Or if you're like healer and you're trying to DPS instead of heal people, like you're probably not synergizing with the rest of your team. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I get that like Final Fantasy 14, for example. There are people that go into the game, they play how they want to play. They say, "You don't pay my sub," things, things like that. And it's like, I get it. I don't pay your sub, but like your role excels in a certain capacity, and you're actively playing against that capacity, and it's like what are you doing here? It's like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like, on a separate note, I feel like for certain games, for certain team-based games, they should almost make. I know they have quick play and they've ranked, or like, I don't know, like hard mode or like hard raids versus like
yeah,
regular raids. I feel like they should almost make a mode where people it's like press buttons mode for people who don't want to synergize or work with their team or communicate and they just want to press buttons. Like go ham. You know what I mean? Like just don't ruin my game. Like
yeah,
please. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, but
yeah. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna go into the next topic unless you had something else.
No, you can go ahead in the next one.
All right. So the next one is leadership and followers. So I feel like that's also important in a team-based game because again, like not everybody can be a leader, but then also at the same time in Nightreign, not everybody can be followers because somebody has to be like leading the way of like, hey, where are we gonna go? What dungeons are we gonna knock out in what order? Like if everybody splits up, that splits up our DPS, that makes us less effective. Like somebody has to lead, somebody has to follow. You know what I mean? Or at least people have to be like considerate enough where if somebody's pinging something that they're like, hey, let's divert to this so that we could do what this person needs to be done, or do what this person wants to do, and then go back to the main objective or to whatever we're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And you can have a variety of, team visions, I guess you could say. Like you can have the one where there's like a leader and like everyone's grouped up following, or you can have like ideas where people spread out, they do their own things.
yep,
But the people that spread out are like, yeah, okay, I'm alone, so I have to have like a survival mindset and not randomly go down too much. Like I know I can hold my own by myself.
yep,
Do these little objectives on the side. Like I remember one game where the team, everyone, I think we were all Iron Eyes, the archers in that
yep,
ring. And everyone was doing their own thing because, you just shoot stuff and kill stuff and we're just killing random mobs. And then the two guys were all fighting a boss or something. But I think it's like the sentient pest spawned and the locust spawned.
yep,
And those guys are super far away, focused on something. I'm like, well, someone's got to deal with it. So I just stepped up. I fought the boss. It might have been the augur. It was one of those two.
yeah,
I think it was the locust though. But I remember I just dealt with the boss, killed it, and that had a huge impact on the run because not only did we get a huge reward in terms of runes, we also got rid of the whole de-leveling mechanic, which was like pestering us.
yeah,
No pun intended.
yeah. Definitely agree with that. Like
But yeah,
some games you do want to split up and divide and conquer. Other games you want to stick together and like do DPS as best as you can and wipe out everything as quickly as possible. Um, but yeah, I'm just like it's just annoying when you don't have any like designation of roles, and everybody's kind of like looking at each other like, okay, well, who's gonna tell us what to do?
You should know
Or
what to do. Like,
yeah, exactly. Or vice versa. Like everybody's trying to lead, and you're like, okay, so who's gonna follow who? Like, which direction are we going? You basically waste time that way. You know what I mean? Like,
it takes a certain amount of humility to follow, but I could even go so far as to say you can lead by being a follower. You know, you
okay,
can
show
like
your work.
you can like I might be like stretching it here, but I feel like you lead, you follow, and you set an example, I guess, of humility. Like, you, because then people can learn, like, okay, like some people are just better at like planning things and coordinating actions and stuff, and you can just follow. But when you follow, like, leader and follower, I don't want, I would say really are not like status symbols. I think a lot of people see them as that. They see followers lower, leaders higher, but they're really like roles. Like the
Yeah.
leader is just coordinating everyone, but the follower, is like, at least in Nightreign, they're like supporting, or they're contributing to the team output and like actions and stuff.
Exactly. Like the leader doesn't necessarily have to be the highest DPS. The leader is just basically like the route, basically
Yeah.
leading the route. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
I can agree with you. I think it also ideally is dynamic, where it's not like static, where one person is a constant leader and nobody else can step up, and like the
Yeah.
leader can't fall back to a follower. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a dynamic thing.
Yeah, like the
Um,
leader can be like, they're like, this is our default plan. But the follower should be like aware of what the leader's doing and how they're doing it. But they
yep.
should also be like, okay, oh, he didn't take this into consideration. Like, there's a church right here or something. We could go right
Exactly.
there, grab that real quick, and they can ping
Exactly.
things. And then, the leader will be like, oh, it takes humility in that respect from them to be like, oh, that is actually a good idea to divert that way.
Yeah. All right. Next piece was let's see. Coordination of attacks. Okay, so this is important in terms, especially like when you're playing like multiplayer shooters, is team shooting. The concept of literally focusing on the same enemy and taking them out more efficiently than if you were to like focus on different enemies. You know what I mean? Because if you team shoot and take somebody down, you can then focus on the next person, team shoot, take them down, and just literally go down the line. Whereas their like DPS is spread amongst all of you, your DPS is concentrated, and you just basically wipe people out. Some
Yeah.
people don't understand that concept, and it like kills me. Even same thing for Nightreign. Sometimes you might have a mob of enemies, and like maybe one enemy needs to be focused down because like they're the biggest threat. Kill them first, and everybody else falls. But
Yeah.
if you split our DPS up, and now this guy gets to like go ham, he might end up like downing one of us or two of us, and now you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Like that, yeah, yeah. That's like an issue in all kinds of, like, in Final Fantasy. You
yeah,
have DPS checks where it's like this random ad spawns, and even though you do have to kill the boss, if you don't kill this random ad, it's a wipe. It just explodes or something and wipes everyone.
yeah,
I was
exactly.
I was thinking when you were mentioning, like, focusing targets, like the Penny Arcade
Oh,
from
100%.
Team
I was about to
Fortress.
mention that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the healer, and the, I forget. I
It's
don't
like
know.
the gunner and the healer in Team
Yeah,
Fortress. Yeah.
yeah. You could probably explain it better than me because I don't
So
truly
basically,
know.
the Penny Arcade comic is about it's like Gabe basically talking to the audience, and basically he's telling them like, guys, like I really know you want to shoot this guy, the gunner who's in front, who basically has this huge what is it, chain gun or whatever, like holding it and just like mowing people down. He's like, I know you want to shoot this dude, but then he's like, for the love of God, shoot the doctor. Like, and you see the doctor behind the guy, the gunner, like healing him the entire time. Yeah, you have to. That's part of like coordination of attacks. Is like you need to realize who's the biggest priority here. Kill the healer, and then the other guy can fall more easily. But if you shoot the guy who's being healed, like you're really not accomplishing much.
You're
You know what I
wasting
mean? Like,
DPS because part of your DPS is being mitigated and negated.
exactly. And I feel like some people don't realize that, and they keep shooting at the DPS. I'm like, no, 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 no. Focus the healer, and the DPS will die. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh my goodness. I had that in
yeah.
Overwatch so many times. I'm just like, guys, please. Mercy is right there.
And it can be hard. It's kind of funny because it very much really is like a realistic sense of like like tanks and MMOs drawing aggro. Like it literally draws aggro from people being like, I want to be shot, but like they're
Yeah,
not the biggest threat. Well,
exactly.
yeah, or they're not what you should prioritize as a target.
Exactly. I think that's one of the things of like high level play in almost any game, whether it's Nightreign, whether it's like Halo, whether it's Overwatch, whether it's Final Fantasy 14. It's like you have to be able to prioritize threats. You can't sit there and just treat them all equally and be like, oh, I can fight this ad or I can fight this other thing. Like you have to know the mechanics of the fight. You also need to know the prioritization of enemies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then the other one is combining like ultimate attacks. So like some of these games have ultimate attacks. I don't know about Final Fantasy 14. Maybe you can speak on that. But like in Overwatch, there were certain characters that literally their ultimate attacks would synergize with each other. Like one example is Zarya and Genji. Zarya shoots a blast that basically collects your opposing teammate or opposing team together, and then Genji basically has like a massive slash that does a ton of damage, and he can basically kill multiple like enemies in
yeah,
one
you'll
go.
wipe the whole team if they're all grouped up. And
Exactly. Or same thing with Diva. You could use Diva plus Zarya. You could use Diva plus somebody else who basically collects enemies and wipe out an entire team. You know what I mean? But I feel like in Overwatch, the thing that would frustrate me is seeing people pop an ult by themselves, and you're just like, yo, if you'd waited like a few seconds, or if you had communicated like, hey, I'm about to do this, maybe other people could get in position and do something that would help your attack be more efficacious. You know what I mean? But if you don't communicate, or if you're just, a lone gun, like, it is what it is.
that's also like with team-based games. I think one of the biggest issues, which is actually really hard to deal with, is being aware of multiple roles. Because, I mean, people like to specialize, but also, people have finite ability, and they also like have preferences, and so it's. I understand how it can be hard for people to realize I need to understand all the roles and like characters, at least on a basic level. A lot of people miss that, and it's like, yeah,
Agreed.
just
All right.
knowing what your team's capable of is really important. Yeah,
100% agree. I think part of that is through playing like the multiple roles and understanding like what each role's purpose is and what they can do and what their like how their attacks can help you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay. The next one, let's talk about randomness and teammates. So let's talk about the randos. What has your experience been with randos?
Depending on the game, and even depending on the mode within the game, I can tolerate to varying levels. Like in Night Rain, it also depends on where I'm at in the game. Okay, so Cowboy and I have both got all the achievements in Night Rain. So like,
Yep.
for me, when I get to that point of I finish the game, I don't mind going back in and just helping randos randomly and being like just derping around, pressing buttons. I'm like, I got mine. Like, I mean, there's no like I'm not if I'm not actively really working towards anything, I feel like, oh, I've got nothing to lose. I'm just pressing buttons. Like,
Yep.
but so then I don't mind the randos, but it's also what mood I'm in because I can only deal with it so much. But even then, I have like a certain. I don't have infinite patience for randos. Like if I recognize like someone's just not acting right, they're like either they're overly zealous with the pinging, pinging too much, or in Night Rain, you're like pinging your location, like go here, go here, go here, like repeatedly, or you're like making really bad moves, like let's go all the way across the map to grab this church, even though that'll waste an entire day that
Yep.
we need to like grind out levels and stuff. I might not quit on them, but I'm gonna kind of check out and be like, this run is dead. Like,
The thing that would frustrate me about randos sometimes is they would basically either be overly aggressive, like in Night Ring specifically. Maybe they might challenge like a death right bird at like a
Oh
very low
yeah,
level. I'm just like, come on, man, you're
you
not
do it
winning
too
this
much.
fight.
You do it
You
too
know what I
much.
mean? And then
Yeah,
the craziest part, the most offensive part of this is like some of them would quit out of the game on their own bad decision. I'm
yeah.
like,
Even when the run
hold
is
up.
totally salvageable, like
Yeah, exactly. It just that's the one of the wildest things about randos and Night Ring specifically is like the Soulsborne games, like Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring. All of those games are basically their fan bases are supposed to be like super resilient. Like basically
yeah,
because those games are built around you're going to fail and you're going to fail very frequently. So like the fact that like people are quitting out after like one death is infuriating.
yeah.
Like
And it's like it's never even that bad. Cause like, well, not never. But like, there have been plenty of times me and Cowboy have been in games, and Rando like quits on us after one death,
yep.
and we still salvage and complete the run,
Yep.
even though we're down a person. It's like, it's sad. That's super annoying.
Yeah. Really annoying.
But
Um
I would say even to that, it's like I had something I wanted to say about that. It was let's see, what was it? It was randos quitting. The runs are salvageable. I mean, you don't
mhm.
necessarily need to quit. But I think also that kind of speaks to an issue I have with Night Rain where I feel like it was kind of rushed because they didn't really implement systems to kind of prevent or like not like keep people from just having no consequences for doing that. I think they say there's like a penalty or something, but like, is there like?
I mean, personally, I've never seen it. I'm not a huge quitter, but I've never seen it. I've quit out on like occasions, like for example, if like multiple people are quitting out, then I'm gonna quit. I'll be maybe the last one to quit. Or sometimes, for example, if like people are doing very stupid behaviors or they're like griefing or whatever, then I'll just be like, okay, whatever, I'm quitting, I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you. I think they didn't set up enough penalties for
guardrails.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, for people quitting. So it didn't persuade them not to. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that really undermines the experience with Night Rain. Like it's if you can go in with like a three stack of people you know who aren't gonna quit, the game's fantastic. But
Yep.
since you kind of have to deal with that, I mean, for the most part, most people don't even have three people, or including themselves, but three people that can go in regularly. It's
Yeah.
kind of sad, but yeah,
Yeah, and then the thing is for Night Rain, like don't get me wrong, they patched in duos into it, but at that point, like it's kind of like you waited. It's too little, too late. I mean, Apex and I already got all the achievements. Honestly, I deleted the game off my console because like I'm good. Unless some like major DLC comes out, I'm just like, I got
even
mine.
then, it's like I don't know if they'll add achievements. I think they might. That'd be annoying actually if they added achievements because then
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of an issue. Like the uh the game design not like accounting for or controlling that kind of like they just gave him free reign to just quit. It's super annoying.
Yeah. You know the other thing that's annoying?
What's that?
People overestimating their abilities. You know what? I'm going to take this back to Destiny. You and I talked about this a little while back. Vault of Glass,
Yeah.
Flawless Raider, and like that jump puzzle. And like the craziest part to me was like some people would swear up and down, "Oh, I'm good for it. Like I could do this puzzle. Like it's easy." And then like the first thing you hear is Guardian down, and you're just like, "You gotta be kidding me! Like you wasted so much time. Like we could have practiced this, but you said you were good for it. Like that's one of the things that literally like." In my opinion, gets you banned, gets you literally unfriended and banned from like play. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Just be honest. If you can't do it, just say you can't do it. If you're
Yeah.
under leveled, just say you're under leveled, and I'll maybe even work with you after hours to try and help you up. You know what I mean? But like, Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah. Walter Glass is fantastic. We're
Basically.
thinking of we're brainstorming doing an episode on that at some point because there's a lot about Volta Glass that kind of even goes beyond Volta Glass itself. But like, I know for me personally, Volta Glass had a huge impact on me, like in my life. Like it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah, Destiny was like a gateway drug for like MMOs in a sense.
yeah.
But
But all right, let's see,
what
where were we?
what
That was
else we got? We got the last one is griefing. I don't fully understand why people do that. I really don't.
yeah. So quickly, can you quickly describe briefing so
So
we are on the same page?
so can I be not safe for work?
Oh gosh. Um, I guess we prepared to get
So
canceled.
griefing, for lack of a better term, is basically just asshole behavior. Like,
Yeah,
for example, like I played a Night Rain game where literally we made it to the final boss, and so basically I ended up realizing after a while I was like, "Where's our third member?" And he's like way off in the distance. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, "What is he doing?" And he's T posing. He's not fighting the boss. He's not helping res people. He's just sitting out in the distance watching. And so then I sat there and I was like, wait, maybe he's AFK. Maybe that's why he's away. So I kind of ran towards him and led the boss towards him. And I realized, no, he's still there. He's dodging out of the way so he doesn't get killed first. I just sat there. I was like, why would you work for 45 minutes to get to like the third day in order to derp around and let everybody lose? That like there's
yeah.
something sick and wrong about human nature that
It's
allows for
like yeah,
people to
it's like
enjoy
super
that.
twisted. Like how? Yeah,
Yeah. Like
like yeah. How do people get to that point? As like just a person? Like it's
I guess they
yeah,
just get off on ruining people's fun,
yeah. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
basically.
It's sad, but yeah, griefing is kind of awful to deal with. And some games deal with it better than others. I kind of like how Marvel Rivals does it, just as an example. You know, if someone's griefing or just, you know, if they have reportable offenses, you can report them, and the game will tell you what happened, the consequences of them. They got banned or whatever, and they're usually pretty good about going through with the bans and stuff. It's not a lot of games have a really good reporting system though, sadly. And I don't know why that might be. Maybe they're worried about. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be any level. It could be any number of things. Worried about losing player base or whatever.
Yep. Well,
But griefing is griefing is just. I can't wrap my mind about around why you would want to in general. But
human beings are messed up, bro.
yeah,
But anyway, I think that's all we got. Night Reign of Terror. I
yeah,
mean, that's pretty much about it. Team
yeah,
games, people are the hidden element that could either make the game or break it, honestly.
yeah.
But
I mean, Night Rain is it's so much potential, but a lot of it was unactualized, and it's kind of sad in a way.
and it's buggy as hell.
Yeah, bugginess, that's kind of a problem too, because you're already dealing with like just the game is crazy difficult. Probably, I mean, it's way more difficult than Elden Ring. It's a very difficult game, and then you get to the boss and disconnects, and yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah, the disconnects are insane. Or sometimes you kill an enemy and they don't drop loot and you're just like, really?
yeah.
Really? You know what I mean?
But
Like,
all right, so let's see. Before we sign out, let's see. We are gonna post a poll, at least on Spotify, and it's gonna be which do you prefer, sweaty teammates or press button teammates? You know, and there'll be three responses that you can select through. Polls are our kind of way of gauging engagement, just getting feedback from the community in a way. But
yeah.
all right, let's see. So we got our outro. So again, I'm Apex Dova.
I'm
This is
Cowboy Bebop crew.
Cowboy Bebop Crew. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Answer the poll and feedback. We would really like feedback. So we've gotten some feedback on YouTube at least. And yeah, Cowboy is
Yeah.
definitely interested in getting in the comment section.
Yeah. I kind of
Yeah.
want to hear what people think. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know where they're gonna go with it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But that's a wrap. All right.
Yep.